Okay, I'd like to open the meeting for the Clarksburg Select Board on Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023 at 11 a.m. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Review and approve minute meeting that they're here. And I already signed that one.
Those have already been
Those
approved, but
already
they
done.
went missing after the last meeting.
All right.
So we needed them recently.
You need what?
Jeff.
You just need Jeff's signature, right? You
Yeah.
weren't here for that one. I
I
think.
believe so, there.
And,
Yeah, I was not here for that one.
alrighty.
Yeah.
So
So I think both of those just require Jeff's
I'll
signature.
just set that there. All right. School roof, RFP.
Okay, so we're working on a request for proposals to get an accurate price on what a school roof replacement is going to look like financially. So I did do a draft RFP. I did send it to the people involved. I got some excellent feedback. I'm going to be meeting with Tom to put the final touches on that, and hopefully that'll be next week or the week after.
All right, that sounds good. The school lift update.
I was in contact with with the electrician, who's also been in contact with Tom. It seems that they're talking, and he said that he would be available for that, so we should be.
Okay,
in
and it
good
looks
shape.
like, so everybody knows, it looks like during Christmas vacation, the school lift will be installed at the school, and it'll make the school accessible, which is a good thing. All right, West Road repairs. I happened to bump into two of the men that work for Northern. We were over at Renee's breakfast, and there's two Northern guys sitting there with shirts. I said, "You working on West Road by any chance?" I said, "Yes." They said, because I went up and looked in it.
Yeah.
They're doing a
lot.
roll around, and they said that they talked to the landowner and they came up with some agreement that was okay. They said that was the best way for them to get down in there.
Yeah.
And to do the work right. They said they expected to be done by the end of this week.
That'll be great.
And,
Carl and I went up there last week, and they said that some of the challenges that they had there was that, and for whatever reason, I'm not an engineer, but a lot of the soils that were around there were like dust.
Yeah.
And that you pick up the soil and it's just like as if dust was rolling through your fingers type of a thing, so it's kind of an oddball. And I don't know what the cause of that is, but yeah, it's quite an endeavor.
well, it is, and like I say, when I went up and looked, I just said, wow, and it looked like they were taking a big job, but anyway, it's so they can do the job right.
Yeah,
So
no, I've been wanting to get over and take a peek at it, I just haven't yet.
we're fine with
Made
that.
it up there during daylight hours.
Yeah, boy, it's awful, it gets dark so early. All right, next is the Mass Work 2024 guidelines. I just put that on the agenda because I just saw that the guidelines are out, and I did write a couple of things down. You know how they have like 5 categories you can choose from, but can choose from more than one. But the way I read it is that by December they want an expression of interest. They say that's highly recommended and goes a long way in getting up.
You're basically writing the grant at that point.
That's, yeah, pretty much. They said that applicants may submit funding requests for more than an infrastructure project in the same round.
Yes.
So,
Like when we went to the thing, Pittsfield got 5.
yeah,
And that's our intention. I did reach out to the Department of Ecological Restoration in that same vein to kind of pick their brain on that 200-foot-long culvert on Gleason Street too, to see how we would approach that, to see if we could throw that into the mix on that too. So yes, there's a number of projects that may very well fit into that, and lacking anything relative to the school roof, that we might be able to tuck that into a MassWorks grant too.
okay, that sounds good. And they had an example of one town, I won't name the town, but they got 1.6 million for road repair, And then they also got some for sidewalk and sewer infrastructures. I mean, they're doing different things, and I know we got a lot of work to do.
Good job, yes.
And then the last thing is said that shovel-ready projects get top priority.
Yeah, and so we do have the engineers working on pre-engineering. I mean, that's what we can afford. And for the southern component of Middle Road, so we're going to be finishing the northern section, basically from Wood Road to Route 8, and then we would like to complete it down to the North Adams line in the next round of funding. And I know that Kyle and the engineer did go and walk, that we do not have anywhere near the number of culverts that we have on the northern section of Middle Road. And so I did reach out to the engineer, and so I should hopefully, because that's going to have to be part of the package for the grant application. So we are working on it.
Okay, and then also, I know, we just talked about it, but to keep in mind that we should get together with Kyle sometime for even like the next year, 2025, because if we gotta get pre-engineering and get shovel-ready,
Yep.
we're gonna have to do that in 2024, so I don't know what would be the next area that we wanna look at, if it's like Houghton Street or Cross Road or whatever, but,
I guess that, my thoughts are, because we had the DFC or DCF or something like that, the folks that did the inflow and infiltration on the sewer lines. I was thinking that if we could put that together with maybe working on some sewer line, water line, and the culvert and the catch basin in tandem with North Adams, I think that if we worked with North Adams, we would have a better chance of getting the money. Getting it engineered is going to be the kicker right there, though. I'm aware of that. There is definitely a need, and clearly we have an ACO on the I&I for the sewer too.
yeah,
So-
and if something like that,
and it's going to
gets
be
postponed,
expensive.
or it looks like, that's gonna be a big project. I'm wondering if, like say, and we'll let Kyle, because Kyle knows the roads better than anybody, let him decide maybe what's the next road that needs to be resurfaced or done, and, because I wanna make sure we don't miss anything, because the money's there.
No, we gotta stay on top of this and really make sure we.
How I would look at it is that everything except North Eagle Street has relatively new sewer lines.
Okay.
So like Houghton Street, Cross Road, that goes to Route 8, that has relatively new sewer lines too, and relatively, in the life of infrastructure, about 30 years old, more or less, kind of, sort of, maybe even 35, 40. But I know that we have some sewer components, especially under North Eagle Street. That's the area that
Yeah.
in my opinion, needs some
But even for like.
1920s and
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, well, and like for the Strapmere, I mean, you're right around, there's many roads.
Oh, we don't have a shortage of that.
We don't have a shortage of that, but I was looking at Crossroad because I'm on that a lot and said, boy, it's a mess. But even, I went down like Daniels Road and up in the area. Some of these roads are just awful, but I just want to make sure that we keep these strap grants going every year while we can, while they allow us, because we can't miss any of these.
It's
But
the only way we're gonna be able to do anything, really, is.
Well, because we have a whole lot of no money.
a lot of no money.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on that?
Nope.
All right. Chimney repair update, I just know the last time you said there was, you're waiting for, you're still waiting for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that they have done the sealing of the flashing.
Yeah.
They did replace the door down here, and it appears we don't have water coming in, but again, they had to order the cap, and they're waiting
Okay,
for that
that's-
to arrive.
All righty. Again, and just so you know, lots of times I like to keep things on the agenda until they're like done, because otherwise, from my own personal thing, I'll forget about them, and that helps me keep everything.
Maybe if we don't hear from the chimney person by next week, maybe we can follow up with it, check in with them just to see where that's at.
Okay, next on the agenda is a town hall community sign.
So I talked with the electrician and also with John. So he's ready to dig. We've got 45 feet. We got the specs of what we need to put about a 1-inch PVC line in. So we're gonna have John put that in with a string through it so that they can pull the electric line in there. I did have that discussion with the electrician, and he's supposed to coordinate with John.
Okay.
And be in contact next week.
Yeah, and the only thing like that, I knew we had to do all that, but frost is gonna start getting.
Well, that's my concern. And then the other thing is that Mike is going to be testing the sign itself shortly.
Okay. All right, next is MVP update. I know Courtney sent an email around, so I just wanted to update everybody on that. On Carson Avenue, which is sort of separate, but it was all involved with the MVP, that Courtney got a hold of Aaron Rodgers from Trout Unlimited, and they came up and looked and everything that time. And they have contacted John Field, geomorphologist, who will design and help with permitting. So they are working on that, and DER, or Department of Ecological Restoration, will fund the project. So that is moving forward slowly. I mean, I really worry about big rainstorms because every time we get a major rainstorm, more of that bank gets washed away. But anyway, they are working on that, so I was happy to see that. And then for the MVP itself, they have a contract with accessibility consultants, I can't read my writing, Bandera, from Trails for All. Also a discussion with Flying Cloud, who will run the Student Design Challenge. That was all part of us getting the grant, as they want the students and have everybody involved, which is great because it's all up by the school area. And the MVP has a RFP to find the design team who can address the stormwater as well as recreational enhancements to the town field. So again, Courtney said, everything goes kind of a slow pace, but everything's moving forward. So I wanted to relay that to everybody here. Carl, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And now the next one is Carson Avenue, which I just included with there. The next is Briggsville Water District update.
So on the MVP, we've reached out to the property owner. We're just waiting for a time to get together and hopefully pen a P&S agreement.
Okay. And then the tree removal at the community center, again, there's no hurry on this. I only left it on the agenda because I know we left it that we were going to have possibly our tree warden, yourself, and maybe staff first look at it and stuff.
So I've reached out. I'm waiting to hear back because we have a couple of trees. My only concern is we don't have a lot of money.
Right.
We have none. So
Right.
once I get a number, I will be in touch with you.
All right, and then one at the community center, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to fall down. It's just, I see signs of it getting a little old. So, I mean, there's no...
Well, all trees are going to ultimately fall down at some point, except for this one across the street. And so, prudence would say that, that thing needs to come down before it does that.
Yeah, and it definitely is leaning, all the weight, and it's leaning toward the front side of the senior center, and it looks like a branch would clip off some of the buildings. So, I mean, I just want to make sure we, that Jeffrey or somebody goes up and says, no, we're fine for a year or 2 or 3 or whatever. Okay, the SRTS grant update, that is just streets, safe, that's safe.
Safe routes.
Safe routes to school.
Yes. Tara Barnes and Sandy Cody, them, they put in for a grant on that, and I just want to make sure we all are on the same page and we have an update for it.
Yeah, and so we had a Zoom meeting, Tara and myself, with the state. It was kind of interesting. One of the participants on behalf of the state actually worked at Clarksburg School. And there, you know, we discussed the various options, east, west, that type of thing. So they're going to send up a representative, and it actually might be him, to make a recommendation as to which way to go.
Okay,
So,
sounds good. That's doing that. Okay, and next we gotta approve the warrants, and then we have public comments.
don't speak all at once.
Dan, you have anything else, Ed, or Carl, anything?
No, not that I can think of.
Happy holiday, folks.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and
Thanksgiving.
we'll adjourn at, what is it, 11:15?
Yeah, 11:15.
Okay, thanks.